My name's Rebecca Ann Bentley. I am an actor, director, writer, producer, and editor here in Melbourne. I've always written as a child, and so I loved sharing stories. And then I saw my sibling in a play when I was 12 years old. So then I started to act, and then I've always just been fascinated with how films work, which kind of inspired me to start making my own, and I just kind of fell more in love with it. I got into film originally by acting. So I started doing independent short films, some small roles on feature films, and then I just decided to start making my own things because I had all these stories and I figured why not knowing if I'd fall in love with directing, and then I just so happened to. I didn't really study filmmaking. I studied acting at the Australian Film and Television Academy, as well as just doing classes here and in Canada as well, and in America when I went over for a bit. But I just kind of learned everything from how bad directors had treated me on set, that I kind of took it in. And then, it's sometimes hard to find a really good producer. So I ended up producing it myself. And then again with editing, I just kind of fell into it, doing it with my own short films. Then now I'm just like, okay, cool, I can edit, that's fine, and I love it too. The first film I ever made, it was actually a short film called Alone, and it's one that I directed, which unfortunately all the footage got lost, but I acted in it and it was just a good experience to do it anyway, and hopefully one day when I can afford to, I will get the footage back. Maybe it'll take 10 years, but I'll get it back. Free filmmakers that inspire me. The top one is actually a woman named Quinn Shepard, and she's very independent, and basically everything kind of fell apart for her feature film. Her investor pulled out at the last minute, and she had all the crew, all the cast, everyone on set, and so she just had to use her college funding to make the film, and it got into Tribeca and everything. And then there's just originals like Steven Spielberg and, I don't know how to say her last name, Greta Gerwig. I'm just I can't pronounce the name, but that's it, yeah. Free films inspire me. Again, Flame by Quinn Shepard, because she did it all and it turned out fantastic. Lady Bird, because female director. And I also love La La Land. Actually, I'm going to say 4 because The Greatest Showman always inspires me as well.
God, what a shit day. Hi, David.
How are you?
Here?
Yes.
Magic.
It's not funny. How can you joke about this?
Oh, come on, David. If I can't laugh about it, who else will?
Your funeral's today. Did you know that?
Yes. That's why I'm wearing white.
Is this a joke?
Of course not, David.
Don't call me that.
Why?
I never used to do that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things I never used to do.
Vision kind of changes, but for the most part, I make films that have messages in them. So I want to either shed awareness about something or just give people either hope or, I guess, continuously make people aware of things. The favorite film, or my favorite film that I made, was actually my last short film, and it was called Him, because it was about sexual assault and how the police handle it and how the process goes. So I'm very much looking forward to once that one gets released and finished into festivals. I'm actually currently in pre-production of a feature film that starts shooting in 13 days. So I'm directing it, I'm starring in it, I'm co-producing it, I'm production manager, and I'm editing it. So it's a lot of roles, but I'm super excited because it's about violence against men, which is something I'm very passionate about. I think the biggest challenge we have in the Australian industry is funding. It's a lot of money going into reality TV, which, don't get me wrong, I occasionally love it, but we need to kind of focus especially on newcomer directors, because there's a lot of things being made by ones that are already well established, which is great, but there needs to be more funding for those that are just trying to get into it, but have really good messages and have done short films that are award-winning. So I feel like that's the biggest challenge we face. future projects after my feature film, I'm gonna try and create a proof of concept for another feature film that I want to make, and then submit it hopefully for funding. And it's set across the Great Ocean Road, so that's hence why we need lots of funding for it. I think a good name for a production company is something that stands out. It's something that makes people think, because if they remember it, they're going to remember all your projects.
One day you're just going about your normal ways, reading a book or trying to seclude yourself from everyone. But then you see him. And that's when everything changes.
You find yourself believing in love again. You've seen your friends fall in love, but you never thought you could. But you do, with her. And it's different than anything you've ever felt before. It's the kind of love you've only seen in movies.
You become inseparable. You spend every day together. You become that couple that makes everybody else jealous. You change and become a better person because of them. And they make you the happiest you've ever been.
For choosing actors, I either go through people I already know that are reliable, or I put it online and just, see what happens, get people to self-tape or audition in person. Or if there's people that I'm not 100% sure of, but I know have worked with someone I know, I will ask the director of the project, be like, how were they on set? And most of the time, they're like, they were great. They were brilliant. But sometimes you get that one or two that are like, nah, they were hitting on everyone kind of thing, or just a nightmare on set. So that's kind of my process. I definitely believe in giving unknown actors a chance. I 100% think that they are worth it if they are talented and right for the part. I've worked with people that don't really have too many credits, or just, are starting out, but they've given a phenomenal performance in both the auditions and also on screen. So I think it's worth it if it's the right person. An actor I'd love to work with, and this is one day in the hopefully near future, Jennifer Lawrence. I adore her, and she's beautiful, such a beautiful soul, and she's so funny. I would also love to work with Margot Robbie, because again, beautiful soul. I've always been fascinated with Zac Efron, and I feel like he gets a lot of, screw you for playing the, either the jerk or the role, but after, watching the Ted Bundy movie, it's like there's a lot more to him, and I've always believed that, so I think they are my top 3 I'd love to work with. My advice for aspiring filmmakers, not that I'm a big shot or anything, is just to get out and do it. And I feel like that's been, said in every single video that I have watched, is just get out and do it. Get a bunch of people together, because people will work with you if you have the right idea and are passionate. Just go make your own things, find people, and just do it. Biggest challenge, funding. Getting money, I guess sometimes, like when things go wrong at the last minute, like I had a library booked and then suddenly it disappeared. So we had to rebook it for later on. Like luckily all the cast and crew could come later. But I would say that's definitely been the biggest challenge, when things have just suddenly fallen apart. Or for my first one, I had my lead actress pull out. So I managed to find a replacement very quickly. And then my lead male, also I had to let him go because he was a nightmare. And so then we didn't have a lead male for that one until literally the night before we shot the film. But lead actor was brilliant, so can't complain too much. I think for either it being here and making films here or going overseas kind of depends on the person. Like I personally, I want to make some Australian films and maybe television and then go over. But for me, the plan is obviously Hollywood, because I feel like a lot of my stuff will do better in Hollywood than Australia, because a lot of the things that I'm trying to get across, Australians don't really connect with or don't want to see. Final words are, if you're an aspiring filmmaker, go out and do it. And that is all.